Today, we return to the escapades of the superior Spider-Man, issue number 3, written by Dan Slott, with art by Ryan Stegman and Edgar Delgado. The issue begins with Jameson unveiling a brand new spider signal for the night sky. Despite Jameson's enthusiasm, Doc Ock quickly dismisses the idea using one of his spider bots. Swallowing their anger, Jameson and Pratchett inform Doc Ock Spidey that he must work with Carly to stop the new string of Vulture attacks, one of which we saw in last issue. Doc Ock and Carly retreat to the lab where Doc modifies his lenses to pick up the Vulture's trail. Using the new tech, Doc hunts the Vulture down, only to offer him an out. Remembering their days in the original Sinister Six together, Doc Ock offers the Vulture millions of dollars in cash to go and quietly retire, but the Vulture refuses. In the ensuing scuffle, Doc realizes that the goons the Vulture is manipulating are none other than children. Reminded of a traumatic childhood experience of his own, Doc goes into a rage-fueled frenzy. Vulture and Doc Spidey fight throughout the entire city's skyline until Doc ends the battle with a well-timed blast from the earlier introduced spider signal. Apparently, the Spider-Bot did not destroy the signal, but rather simply disabled it. The Vulture has been brutally beaten, much to Carly's horror. Fearing he acted out of character, Doc Spidey fakes a sincere apology. Though Doc seems satisfied with his cover-up, Ghost Peter is not so sure. It seems that Carly has already confirmed her suspicions. This is not the Peter Parker she knew.
So now that she knows, I think that's only the first step. She has to be very careful what she does with that knowledge, because I think if she begins to expose Doc Ock, he could get violent and, physically harm her.
I definitely think that there's a possibility that he'll do something. I don't know if he's going to be so apparent about what he's doing, because Doc Ock, I think, is a smart guy. He knows that he can't get away with killing innocents. Even as Peter Parker, he can't get away with that.
But he could ruin her life.
He could ruin her life. And so she has to be wary of what she does. I think what she has to do, as opposed to working alone, she's got to find other people that she can convince that this isn't the real Peter.
Yeah.
And
she's got to find people with clout, too.
I guess the people to go to would be someone like the Avengers or the Fantastic Four, or someone with...
Yeah, like a Johnny Storm.
Yeah, someone who knows Peter, but also has actual authority within the Marvel Universe.
Right.
The nail in the coffin in Carly's investigation for who Peter really is was Doc Ock basically sending Vulture down into this Spidey signal, and he's completely bloodied and he's completely destroyed, and it's very brutal.
Right.
And Carly thinks that Peter would never do that, but
I don't think Peter ever would do that.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. But it makes me think that should he have? I mean, Vulture is going to be off the streets for a very long time.
No.
He actually got punished. And, I mean, there's a lot of incidents of vigilante justice throughout comic books. And who's to say that this isn't an acceptable way to deal with villains?
Well, the Punisher definitely thinks it is. But
it is, yeah.
That's not the Spider-Man way of doing things.
So just because...
With great power comes great responsibility.
Just because it has been established that this is how Spider-Man acts, any iteration of Spider-Man afterwards, if he doesn't stay good to those standards, isn't an acceptable deterrent of crime.
I don't know if... That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just saying for Doc Ock to keep his cover as Spider-Man.
That I agree with. He's not going to keep his cover if he keeps going like this way.
I mean, at this point, it's not about Doc Ock fighting crime. It's about Doc Ock staying Peter Parker. I did kind of like Jonah Jameson, and we get to see him in this issue. He installs a bat signal, which I kind of liked.
I thought that was hilarious because Doc Spidey brings up the point of, why would you ever have a signal pointing out to everyone where I am right now? And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Great dig at Batman. It's interesting that he doesn't completely destroy it. He basically makes it his. Right. He sends a spider bot there so that he controls it, not anyone else. And I think that's just very telling of who Doc Ock is as Spider-Man. He has all these power plays to everyone else, where Peter was just more of just a nice guy that sort of got taken advantage of. Doc Ock is taking advantage of everyone else.
I did kind of like how Doc Ock just kind of went berserk when he saw that the Vulture was using children, and then we got to see a flashback to Doc Ock's childhood where he was being abused by his father, and I thought this was just Slott trying to make the reader sympathize more with Doc Ock.
I mean, I already kind of like Doc Ock as Spidey, and it did add some more character to him. He's not just some completely evil person,
Right.
he also does have some good in him.
Right. I'm not sure if this can completely makes up for everything because there are definitely a lot of villains who are abused as children too, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you could turn out either way. I mean, in Remender's Captain America #1, his father's beating his mom, but Cap didn't turn into a supervillain. So another thing I really liked in this issue is we got to see a lot more of Ghost Peter, and he started to kind of develop some powers. Like now he can go into Doc Ock's memories as well.
Yeah, he was sort of trapped inside the memory for when Doc Ock was a child.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes me question what is Ghost Peter's actual capabilities. So we've already seen him stop Doc Ock from killing someone, like physically sort of grab his arm as if to stop killing one of the new Sinister Six members. And we've also, in this issue, saw him sort of saying something, and it seems that Doc Ock registers what Peter had said.
Even in that first issue where he was stopped from killing the new Sinister Six member, he goes, I wonder what stopped me. So I think like a whole nother plot line is going to be Doc Ock is going to start to figure out that there's a Peter Parker inside of him.
If that becomes the case, I think Doc Ock is that person who will want to just expunge any sort of thing that isn't him inside of him.
Right.
So I think that's going to be where there's going to be a final confrontation between Ghost Peter and Doc Ock, probably in his mind. And then I wonder if Ghost Peter is going to come out and become a realization of Peter in some way. And then it's going to be a slow progression towards gaining the right body back. I don't know.
I think that's a long ways down the road.
It probably is. So. It probably is.
So as a grade for this issue of Superior Spider-Man #3, what would you give it?
I give it a 4 out of 5. Another solid issue. I'm loving whatever Doc Ock is doing as Spider-Man just because it's interesting and it's new.
I'm going to give this issue a 4 to 5 as well. Superior Spider-Man is just exceeding my expectations. 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Superior Spider-Man #3. Before we go though, we got a question for you guys.
Do you guys think that Doc Ock went too far? Is vigilante justice acceptable?
Leave your answer below in the comments. Also check us out on Twitter, and thanks for watching.